James is in studio with us from South Haven, DeSoto County, Mississippi.
That's correct.
How are you doing, Connie?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Now, how are you familiar with American Family Radio? Speak into that microphone right there.
Okay,
There you go.
Listen to it.
Yeah? Well, that's good. That's good to be familiar with it.
That was a good start.
Yeah.
But what we do in South Haven is we run a food pantry there. It's about the largest food pantry in DeSoto County.
Now, DeSoto County, for those who don't know, DeSoto County, Mississippi, is just south of Memphis.
Right.
And it's one of the fastest, maybe still the fastest growing county in the state of Mississippi.
Yes, it is.
Wanted to have you on because not only to let people know about your work there, but also I know there are people who are listening to us right now who've wondered about having something similar to this in their community. Mm-hmm. Did you start Heartland Hands? How did it? Tell us the story.
I did not start it. I've just become director about 2 years ago. But the ministry started really as a result of Katrina. That was one of the beginning focus on it. Our church had rented a building. It was an old Walmart building in South Haven on State Line Road, just south of Memphis. And the church had, before it started renovating it for a church, Katrina happened. When Katrina happened.
And all those people from the Gulf Coast came north.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and what to do with them, how to help them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're right off of I-55, so we were the perfect stopping place. So between the city of South Haven and Heartland Church, they just gave the building. We hadn't started renovating yet, so it was the perfect building. So we housed, we fed, but we also ran a distribution center for the Katrina victims. As a result of that...
Were you involved in all this?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yes, I was.
So you were being groomed as director, whether you liked it or not.
I didn't know that at the time.
God had plans for you.
I didn't. But when all of that shut down, there was still the need. There was still the primary need for food. You know, when we looked at all of that, we looked at the needs of the people to make sure that they were fed.
How does a food pantry work? How does that work? I mean, exactly. I mean...
Our food pantry, I think, is exemplary, and we've been told that by the state of Mississippi, so I'm really, really proud of that. But what we do is we prepare boxes of food. Our primary source of food is USDA and the Mid-South Food Bank. So we get ours from Mississippi Food Network. We get our USDA food from there.
But they donate it or you buy it?
Well, they donate. USDA is donated, but you have to apply. You have to qualify. I went through 4 audits last year. So anytime you're working with the federal government on anything.
Only food is worth 4 audits. Anything else, I wouldn't do it.
Exactly.
That's right. Yeah, food for the poor, okay, but anything else, I'm not doing 4 audits. But
absolutely.
Go ahead.
But it was good. We came out on top. We knew what we were doing. Fortunately, I'm retired from the state. So I knew kind of what they expected, how it was going to operate. So we were able to pass our audits with flying colors. So we were grateful for that. But we prepare boxes there, and those are just 2 of our sources. We are absolutely dependent, and that's part of my reason for coming today, is that the USDA food has gone from the beginning of the year was 10,000 pounds. We were able to get that much because we are so large. The last month, we were able to get 2,500 pounds.
Ooh, that's a drop.
It is a drop, and especially considering the fact that in January of this year, we served 200 families. Last month, we served 335 families. Since our inception, we've served over 35,000 people. We've provided food for 35,000 people in the last 5 years. That's incredible.
Yeah,
and we're able to do it. We do it strictly on volunteers. So we're so... economically, it's such a positive thing economically to do it this way because we're using volunteers. Last month, our volunteers gave 692 hours. At $10 an hour, can you imagine what we would be paying for those type services? These are professionals. They know what they're doing. We have a whole staff of interviewers. We have a staff of office personnel. We have another pantry staff. People are processed quickly. They're getting about $100 worth of food. They're able to come in once a month and get that food. There's no cost at all to our clients.
Talking to Connie James from Heartland Hands, a lot of this, this is an outreach across the country that is feeding the poor and helping people who, are in poverty with basic needs of life and doing it, as a Christian outreach.
Absolutely.
And your website is heartlandhands.org. Heartlandhands.org. So you're here to tell us, is this happening to other food pantries across the country?
Yeah. It is.
You're saying that United States Department of Agriculture,
right, through the Department of Human Services,
used to donate a lot of food,
yes,
to pantries, and
certainly.
They've cut way back.
Yes.
Is that because of budgetary problems?
I have no idea why. Because it seems for us at the bottom of this, who know nothing about the bureaucracy involved, for the unemployment, which has been our biggest problem in our area and across the country, but in our area, we're experiencing so much unemployment. When unemployment happens, people have to choose. Do they feed their families? Do they pay the car note? Do they buy gas?
Yeah.
What do they do? And oftentimes food goes without. I mean, it's not uncommon at all for us to have a client that has not eaten in 2 or 3 days.
I'm sitting here thinking about the government, all the assistance that you've gotten from the government, and I'm thinking, where's the body of Christ? I mean, it's great that the government comes along.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's fine.
Perfect.
But it should be, us as Christians coming to the aid of these food pantries. And
the reason for that, John, is because because we have government food, we have certain guidelines that we have to follow. You have to be poverty level. You have to provide so much. There are other situations that are going on out there that work individually with one-on-one. That family has a particular problem. Because we have a staff of interviewers, we can sit down, we can listen to those people. When I interview, I ask that person to tell me what's going on in their life. I have an opportunity at that point to discern what we need to do and what we don't need to do. Maybe this person only needs help for 1 month. Maybe they need help for 3 months. Maybe in 3 months they're going to be okay. So they don't have to follow all the strict guidelines. We've got to have community involvement. We need our churches involved in this. Not one church. This is not a one-church pantry. It never was. It was never established that way. When Dr. Bennett started this program, it was never to be a Heartland Church project. This was a community food pantry. Yeah. And we need the community involvement. The churches particularly, we need involved in this.
Well, certainly for those who live in DeSoto County, Mississippi, and the surrounding area, they need to contact you. And heartlandhands.org.
Yes.
What's your phone number?
It's 662.
At your office there.
280-6553.
Give it again, please.
662-280-5362.
536. Your Social Security number?
I beg your pardon?
I'm sorry. You don't have to give that. I was just teasing with you there. Heartlandhands.org.
Right.
And contact you, Connie James, there. And I'm glad you not only raised an awareness here of your own, but also generally speaking across the country, because we have 192 stations. Christians need to be mindful of their local food pantries and to help out however they possibly can. Right. Because, as you say, more and more people seem to be in need now because of the job situation and the economy. So we need to be, for those of us who do have, we need to be sensitive to those who have not.
Right.
Thank you, Connie.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
That's Connie James. And, John, that's another thing that goes on in our country that you mentioned the body of Christ needs to be involved. Yes, and for the most part, that's who does the charity work in this country.
That's true.
Are Christian charities, Christian ministries.
Wow.
I wanted to mention while we're getting our other guests.